Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Let's Play Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishments. We managed to, I guess, make our first arrest, our first suspect of the murder of Peter Carey. I think that there's still more to this story than meets the eye, though. So we're just gonna go to Scotland Yard. We have to go through his stuff in the evidence room, but we also are going to be interrogating him directly. So, Nelligan's belongings. Let's see what we've got. This is what he had in his possession.
These are the suspect's belongings.
J.H.N. Yeah, Nelligan. That was what he had. Those are his initials.
That we found on Peter Carey's cabin floor.
Yeah, that's what he came back
These
for.
These abbreviations mean something, but what?
Maybe we're gonna have to go ask him ourselves.
We're
gonna have to ask him ourselves.
A pocket knife. It was used to force the door of Peter Carey's cabin.
Yes.
A handkerchief with the initials J.H.N.
Yep. The one ring to rule them all. From R. Dawson to my friend and partner. 1883. Whoa. From R. Dawson to my friend and partner. What do you mean by partner? Huh. R. Dawson. So this is a wedding ring. R. Dawson. Who's R. Dawson?
And partner, 1883. From R. Dawson.
Yeah. To my friend.
To my friend, Dawson. I've seen this name before. Perhaps my archive holds the answer.
Dawson, eh? My archive? Interrogate your archive back at your house, you mean? Dialogue, search archives. Heavy ring, a gold ring with the inscription from R. Dawson. Oh, I see. These things, the symbol here tells me that there's more stuff I can find out about this by talking to people. So I can talk to Nelligan about the knife and the ring. And I can also get more information about the ring when I go and search my archives back at home. Okay, cool. I'm getting this. I'm getting how this whole thing, you know, how the whole AI thing works. Okay, I think I've pretty much.
These are the suspect's belongings.
I don't have to take any of these things. All right, we're gonna go and talk to Mr. Nelligan. See what he's got to say for himself. Can't open that office. The morgue. I don't think that there's anything in the morgue that we need to do, but I'm just gonna explore because I'm Sherlock Holmes. Oh. Looks like we've already got some bodies here. I'm wondering if Peter Carey's body is already taken down here. Probably. I don't think there's gonna be clues down here. Alright. Kind of miss Watson, though.
Locked.
Alright. Yeah, you know, there's that knife over there that you can pick. That you can use to pick the lock. Sherlock, I guess. Who's that? It's another suspect.
Mr. Holmes?
Or another prisoner, I guess. John Nelligan. Alright, should we play good cop or bad cop with this guy? He doesn't look very happy. Don't blame him. Let's start by sizing him up. It's not a bad looking man. Not a bad looking young man. Oh, he's got warts in his hands. Callus. Scars. Elaborate buttons. Patch. Shabby cap. Yeah. Expensive fabric. Does well for himself. Callous scars. What am I missing? Thin neck. Not sure why that's relevant, but we're gonna keep going. There's one more thing. I'm not skipping. I'm gonna keep checking to see what else. Is there anything I need to examine down here? Apparently not. What am I missing? Oh, there was something there. Short sleeves. Okay. That was cool. I love the different ways. The thing I like about this game is there are multiple like mini games. There are multiple mini games that you play in order to determine all the clues that you need to crack the case. That's pretty cool.
Does this notebook belong to you?
Yes. But where did you find it?
Uh,
I did not know. I thought I'd lost it at the hotel.
then why were you in the cabin?
What do these abbreviations mean?
Oh, no. I beg you, I can't. If I told you, it would only make things worse.
Try me.
But I will find out eventually, Mr. Neligan.
So you might as well come out clean. Come on, man. How about the sea knife?
The sea knife was found near Carey's body. Tell me, Mr. Neligan, did Mr. Carey try to defend himself or to attack you with it?
I don't know. I didn't kill anyone.
Okay.
The police seized this valuable ring from you. Whose is it?
I didn't steal it from anyone. It has always belonged to me.
It has always belonged to me. Rings engraving. Sharp knife. Father's jacket. Profile of the victim. Tobacco pouch. Is there anything here that proves that it wasn't actually his? Dawson to my friend and partner. I'm wondering if I had to go to my archives first to determine whether or not the ring belonged to him or not. John Nelligan is wearing an expensive but worn and ill-fitting jacket that had previously belonged to someone else, most likely his father. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's true. Expensive-looking jacket. Probably stole it? I don't know. Peter Carey's boots don't match the footprints. That means there was another man at Woodman's Lee. 1883. John Nelligan. Nelligan is approximately 19 years old. He was raised in wealth, but after the desertion of his father 10 years ago, he and his family fell into poverty. He worked to earn money by cleaning fish. Despite undertaking such manual work for a considerable time, Nelligan remains physically weak. That means he probably wasn't the one who actually killed him. I don't think this man would have been strong enough to impale him to the wall. So the question is, why is he coming into... How is he connected to this mystery at all? Perry was born in 1845 and was 50 years of age, which means it is now... it means that it is now 1915? Is that right? No, 1905. Peter Carey was born in 1845 and he was 50 years of age. So excuse me. 50 plus 1845 is 1895. Excuse me, 1895. The ring. John Nelligan seems not the usual thief, but what is his role in all of it? The ring. To my friend and partner, 1883. So if it's right now 1895, that means this ring was given 12 years ago. This ring was given 12 years ago, which means this guy probably would have been super young. This guy looks like he's in his 20s, I'm thinking. So 12 years ago, he would have been really young. Probably not young enough to get married. Yeah, probably not young enough to be married. So I don't think that I don't think that ring belongs to him because he's way too young. Way too young. Assuming that ring is a wedding ring. Assuming it is. Abbreviations. Sharp knife. The blade shows no sign of use. Tobacco. Ship logs for the years 1874 to 1884. No doubt they contained the whale and seal hunting expedition of Ports of Black Peter. 1884. And this ring was given to us in 1883. Was given in 1883. Huh. Interesting. It has always belonged to me. I don't think so. That ring's engraving. Father's jacket. Profile of the victim. Tobacco pouch. The ring's engraving. 1883, that would... I think that's the biggest evidence that sort of says that he's lying.
The ring's date of engraving is many years ago. You
Right.
would have been a child then.
That's what I
hardly in
said.
any position to receive such an item from a partner.
I was right. I was right. Who's the real ring's owner, man?
So, Mr. Neligan, who is the true owner of the ring?
The ring is mine.
I already picked the ring's engraving. Father's jacket. You stole something else from your father.
Mr. Neligan. I believe that the ring had belonged to your father.
Right.
Oh, but how do you know?
Because you stole other
The
things from
jacket
him.
you are wearing is made of an expensive fabric that only a man of exceptional wealth could afford. You do not seem to me to be a rich man, Mr. Neligan. Furthermore, the garment is ill-fitting.
Exactly.
It is quite clear that it belonged to someone else. Most probably your father.
Right.
With your father gone and taking with him the family's wealth, as a little boy you had to find yourself a manual job, and it was most probably cleaning fish.
Right.
You cut your hands often while working. I can tell from the scars.
Exactly.
I'm speechless, Mr. Holmes. It all happened exactly as you say.
Except you being the murderer. Yeah.
Well, I will see you soon, young man.
Please, let me go. I'm innocent.
Is there nothing? B. Alright. Missing tin box. There had been a tin box in the captain, not much larger than a book. Peter Carey had forbidden anyone from touching it. Nelligan's notebook. A notebook with a blood stain on its cover, indicating that it was dropped into the pool of blood after the murder. It belongs to Neligan. Swift actions. Peter Carey was armed with his knife, but he did not have time to use it. The murderer acted quickly and instinctively. Peter Carey is a non-smoker. Peter had given up smoking a long time ago, but he still might have kept the pouch. Although his wife had not seen it before, she was forbidden to set foot in the cabin. Judith Carey says that her husband took care of the garden himself. That does not sound feasible. She might be hiding something. Break-in attempt. Several unsuccessful attempts were made to break in, according to the scratches around the lock. Peter Carey's body was impaled to the wall with a harpoon through the chest, like a butterfly. So what two things? Find a pair of related clues and they will form a deduction. So what two clues fit together that could be a deduction? Missing tin box. Peter Carey not being a smoker. Maybe the gardener was a smoker? Pinned to the wall. The pinning to the wall part kind of proves to me that Neligan was not the one who actually physically murdered him. He might be connected somehow. The murderer acted quickly. I'm wondering if these two are connected in any way. Some of the facts may be interpreted differently. You can always change the picture of a crime by choosing between mutually exclusive deductions. Interesting. Draw a clear picture of a crime by forming your deductions from the combination clues. Track down the guilty party. We need to find out whether an unskilled and untrained man could use a harpoon well enough to kill by fully piercing a body. Experiment required. I'm loving this! Out of these deductions, this pretty much... this is so cool, because depending on your deductions, it pretty much determines what you can do next.
I need to stage a reconstruction. I'm sure that Watson would be happy to oblige.
Prepare for a harpoon throwing experiment.
What am I doing here? I've done nothing wrong.
Oh, Watson. Poor Watson. Oh, no. Watson will be glad to help with the preparations for a harpoon throwing experiment. Oh. Oh. Poor Watson. Alright, let's check this out. Jeez. I'm curious to see how other people play this game. Like, if they end up making different deductions, if the path towards figuring out this crime is different, if different things happen based on the deductions that you make. Because I like how the game says, you know, your deduction things can be interpreted differently depending on, you know, how you deduce things. Hey, Watson, buddy, pal, friend, compadre, amigo, a domestic partner.
A spot of whaling, Watson. Would you care to take part?
Oh gosh.
Are you serious?
No. But we do need to clarify what happened on the night of Black Peter's murder.
A reenactment, then? Is something bothering you?
The sailor's knife, Watson. Why was it on the floor?
Peter Carey attempted to defend himself?
It is possible. But if that is the case, then it alters many things.
I don't quite follow you.
Tell me, my friend, what is the animal closest to man, morphologically, I mean?
The ape?
Ah, I see what you're getting at, Holmes. You asked me that once before. On the Ripper case, I believe. Do you want to slit some more pigs' throats?
No.
Not exactly.
Thank goodness for that.
Oh gosh.
I wish to impale one with a harpoon.
Wonderful.
Watson, let us pay a visit to our butcher friend in Whitechapel. We require the carcass of a well-fed pig.
Oh gosh.
And the harpoon?
One of the harpoons on the wall of Black Peter's cabin should do quite nicely.
Alright. So we've got to go to the Whitechapel Butcher, and we need to get a harpoon. Investigate. Watson will be glad to help with. Harpoon throwing experiment. Watson at the Whitechapel Butcher is prepared. All except the harpoon. Watson at the Whitechapel Butcher is prepared. All except the harpoon. Okay, so I need to get the harpoon from... I need to get a harpoon from the scene of the crime. But first, we're going to go to our newspapers, our archives. Search for Dawson, 1883. Research. Rings engraving. A heavy ring with inscription. Blood tests. Research. Newspapers. Oh. Interesting. Chemistry. Blood test. Vaporization technique. Toxic metal in hair. Textile fibers origin. Chlorine. Let's start with newspapers. First electricity railway opens. The Bankruptcy Act 1883. Fenian condemned for murder. Dawson and Neligan are bankrupt? Oh. Dawson and Neligan invest. Fund bankrupt. Neligan missing. The Dawson and Neligan Investment Fund, a regional banking institution based in Cornwall, has declared bankruptcy as a result of heavy losses in its loan portfolio and has accordingly been assigned for liquidation. It was the 23rd largest bank in Britain, and its bankruptcy was the second largest on record. The liquidation of company is a pure catastrophe for many Cornwall families. Joshua Neligan, one of the bankers, has mysteriously disappeared. He was last seen aboard his yacht, preparing for departure to Norway. Neligan is wanted both by the police and his creditors. I'm wondering if Neligan's dad is the murderer. Disappeared mysteriously. Last seen aboard his yacht. So maybe he became friends with, Peter Black or whatever, and, you know, joined him on his whaling. And something happened between the two of them, and now he wants to kill. Now he murdered Peter, and his son caught wind of it and is trying to, I don't know.
Here it is.
Make him innocent? Show his innocence?
Now I begin to understand that young man's story. but I am still unclear as to what connects him with the murder. It is time to ask him.
Documents. Okay.
My archive. I can always consult with it if... My archive. I can always consult with it if needed.
Okay.
My analysis table. It is useful for my work.
Right. Research, letters, newspapers. Okay, cool. Alright. Let's go back to... I'm gonna go back to Scotland Yard later, because I'm wondering if there's something new that I'll find at the Whitechapel Butcher, and if I do find something new that I could possibly chat to Nelligan about, I'll do that. So let's go back to Woodman's Lee, because I need a harpoon. Open deduction. Nelligan's notebook. Pinned to the wall. Nelligan's notebook. Missing tin box. Break-in attempts. No gardener. Peter Carey and non-smoker. I'm wondering if the missing tin box and the notebook are connected in some way. No. They're not. No. What I think is... deselect. Peter Carey, non-smoker. No gardener. No. Nelligan's notebook. Break-in attempt. Pinned to the wall. Missing tin box. Nelligan's notebook. Break-in attempts. Task experiment required. Right. Retrieving the notebook. The break-in attempt were made in order to recover the notebook that had been lying in a pool of the victim's blood. Yeah, that's what I thought. This proves the guilt of the person who made these attempts. The break-in attempts were made in order to recover the notebook that had been lying in a pool of victim's blood. That proves the guilt of the person who made these attempts. Okay. So I can make more deductions. No gardener. Break-in attempts. Peter Carey, a non-smoker. Pinned to the wall. Missing tin box. Break-in attempts. No. Missing box. Pinned to the wall. Missing tin box. No. Alright, I'm gonna... I'm done with deductions for the time being. Alright. I'm assuming they cleaned up the body by now. I'm assuming the body is probably back at the morgue. Yeah.
That should do it. Now I am ready for the experiment.
Nice. Yeah. Perfect. A heavy and sharp whaling harpoon. It is the same harpoon as the one used to murder Peter Carey. So we got the exact same type. Or what? It is the same harpoon. I guess the same harpoon that was used. Let's go to the butcher. Here we go. Doubt that there's anything here. Okay. Hey, Watson, ready for our experiment?
Well, here we are in the preparation room. I can't say that I like the smell of it much. What do you intend to do?
To indulge myself in a little experiment. The challenge of lancing a pig's carcass with a heavy harpoon.
A little experiment?
Stand aside, Watson. This might be dangerous.
Would you rather I was
not well practiced in this exercise?
Would you rather I was firing a gun at you
Holmes, you should aim for the mark in order to perform the most reliable test.
Hold breath. Okay. Okay.
Holmes, you should try to aim better and throw as hard as you can.
You think that he threw it? Oh gosh, this is tough. This is gonna be tough. Tough. I have to get the timing right. I have to get it like almost immediately. There we go. Do you think he threw
This
it?
is the best possible result that I could get. Do you see, Watson? Throwing a harpoon and pinning a man to a wall requires either exceptional strength and training or diabolical luck.
Yeah, that was hard to do.
If it was luck, then it was a chance in 1,000 that night.
Right.
Well, yes. Let us leave now.
All right. But before we go, I suppose I'll have to pay for all these carcasses you've happily mangled.
I only mangled 3
Very
or
well,
4.
but please hurry.
Very
Of
well.
course.
Very well. Do whatever you want, Watson. I'm done with you. Nice. So, strength requirements. Experiments prove that a similar result with a harpoon can only be achieved with extraordinary strength and or hard training. Pinned to the wall. Feat of strength. It requires a much greater strength than that of the average man to be able to pierce a man's chest with a harpoon all the way through the wall. A degree of skill would most likely be necessary. 2 men in cooperation might achieve the same result. Lucky throw. There is a remote possibility that an unskilled and untrained man could manage to pin Peter Carey to the wall with a harpoon. I think I'm going to go with the most likely one. Most likely one is that 2 men in cooperation might achieve the same result. So there might have been 2 people involved in the murder. Yeah, I like that. Which would make sense. So it was maybe it was the son and the father. Maybe. I guess we're gonna keep figuring things out. Alright, so this experiment was done. I'm really enjoying this, guys. I'm loving this. I feel just like a detective, going to all these places, getting the things I need to experiment, researching, interrogating, reviewing my casebook. Like, this is really cool. Thank you again to Hexenkind1 and Duck McDuck for recommending this, because this is just the first case of like 6, I think. And I am just loving this. This is so cool. This is definitely right up my alley. Hey, John Nelligan, let's chat, shall we? Dawson and Nelligan.
I have heard the story of Dawson and Neligan, the West Country bankers.
Yes. Joshua Neligan was my father.
Right.
I am
about
aware
him.
that it had a bad ending. When the bank failed, it ruined half the families of Cornwall, whereupon Joshua Neligan disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
My father was under extraordinary pressure. Dawson had retired. I was only 10 years of age at the time, but it was still old enough to feel the shame that befell our family. My father was convinced that he could pay off all his debts if the creditors gave him time. He set sail for Hammerfest in Norway in his small yacht, just a few days before an arrest warrant was issued. He left my mother a list of the securities he was taking. No word was ever heard from him again. We believe that his vessel went down, taking with it everyone and everything on board.
Thank you for the story, Mr. Neligan. At last, we are making some progress.
So,
Interesting. Joshua Neligan and Peter Carey were both at sea in Norway. There is definitely some connection between Peter Carey and Joshua Neligan's disappearance.
examine the ship's logs. That's our next lead. That's all we got right now. Alright, make our way back to Woodman's Lee. I don't think there's any new clues. Yeah, we don't have anything new here. Let's continue. Again, really neat that they let the loading screen be a chance for you to check your evidence in between. Very smart that they did that.
1883. That's the one I need.
Right, because these go until 1884.
This is the crew list of the Sea Unicorn.
I'm wondering if... Oh, it looks like all of these names match. All of these names, I bet you, matches the initials. Peter Carey, Master. Charles Allison, First Mate. Henry Joy, Second Mate. James Lancaster, Helmsman. Patrick Carnes, Harpooner. Pablo Convertrao, Harpooner. Ned Land, Harpooner. There's 3 harpooners, which makes them suspects of this murder if they know how to throw a harpoon or use harpoons. Joseph Walker, Steward. John York, Cook. Richard Lang, Sailor. Simon Weeks, Sailor. Isaac Page, Sailor. Will Wright, Sailor. Benjamin Tinsley, Sailor. Matthew Granger, Sailor. Rolf Talbot, Sailor. Seth Fowler, Sailor. Roger Fowler, Sailor. Thomas Lawrence, Sailor. Hugh Patton, Sailor. Henry Shepard, Sailor.
Log notes for June. Nothing unusual.
Thursday, June 8th. Light breeze through the day. Saw whale tail alongside at southeast. Just at night, 2 more ships in sight. Latitude 7620 and longitude 2045. Wednesday, June 14th. Moderate winds from the east. Saw no whales today. Latitude 7629 and longitude 2573. Monday, June 19th. Light and variable wind through the day. Saw the other whaling ship. There was another whaling ship. Far away to the north. Latitude 7643 and longitude 2212. Saturday, June 24th. Strong wind from south. Will go to the north. 1 year ago, there were a lot of whales. Latitude 7717 and longitude 1992.
Log notes for July. Nothing special.
Friday, July 1st, light wind from the north to north-northeast. Saw 2 whales at northeast, latitude 7632 and longitude 1814. Wednesday, July 6th, strong wind from the north all day, squally wind from northeast at night, latitude 7626 and longitude 1513. Monday, July 18th, strong breeze from southeast. York got sick. Saw whale tail at east in company with Allison and Joy, latitude 7483 and longitude 1612. Sunday, July 24th, moderate wind from the east. Saw no whales today, latitude 7339 and longitude 2209.
Log notes for August. These pages have been torn away.
Interesting. Tuesday, August 2nd, rather squally wind through the day and night, latitude 7282 and longitude 2333. Saturday, August 6th, squally wind from northeast, helmsman suspects incoming storm, latitude 7210 and longitude 2386. Something happened in these pages.
Log notes for August. These pages have been torn away. Log notes for August. Canadian Pacific Railway, CPR, a torn piece from a bond certificate. I have seen this abbreviation somewhere very recently. There are 3 ways of discovering what happened in August of 1883 aboard the Sea Unicorn. The first 2 of these will require speaking with a dead man. The last would be to locate vital witnesses, the sailors involved in this whale hunt campaign.
Right, which we have the names of. Tasks for Wiggins. The ship's logs of the Sea Unicorn for 1883. The book has a list of sailors at the beginning. The page is for August 1883. Find a use. A piece of stock certificate belonging to Canadian Pacific Railway. It was found inside the Sea Unicorn ship logs for August 1833. The page had been torn out. There's a bunch of things we need to do. Wiggins might help find the crew of the Sea Unicorn. He should be somewhere at Baker Street. This is getting interesting, guys. Okay, folks. I'm going to end it here. Thanks again for watching this episode of Let's Play Sherlock Holmes, Crimes and Punishments. Tune in next time, everybody, and until then, love yourselves and love each other.